Hello, Neil here again, and welcome to my second video. This video I'd like to show you my Walther sp22. It's a Model 1, and how I'm adapting it to use with my limited hand function. Being a C6-7 quad, of course my hands don't grip, nor do my fingers work, so it's going to take a little bit of MacGyvering to be able to use this pistol. It is a 22 caliber. Pistol, by the way. The two main obstacles to overcome is basically how you're going to hold the pistol, due to your not having any hand function. How am I going to hold on to this thing? And I don't want to use a stationary pistol holder like you can buy commercially. I wanted to be able to actually hold it in my hand like one would normally use one if you was using a handgun. And of course the next obstacle was how was I going to pull the trigger on this thing without the use of my fingers. There's going to be an obstacle there to overcome. So there were some considerations you had to kind of look at when you're choosing a handgun to do this. The first possible thing is the weight. You've got to find something that's light enough that you can control. Because all this has to do with safety on a pistol, especially because you're waving around a loaded firearm that's quite dangerous. So a lightweight is possible. How's the cocking scheme work on it? Am I going to be able to cock this thing? The shape of the grip, in terms of how am I going to, is it shaped somewhat where I can adapt it to something that's strapped to my arm or whatever. Of course, loading it, that's a consideration to look at. And all of this, the safety became a big problem. How am I going to do the safety on this? So those are some of the things that we needed to consider when doing this. So let's take a look at what I come up with. And again, this is a Walther sp22. It's a Model 1. It's a 4-inch barrel. But I'll show you some of the other stuff that I had considered. Now this is the Ruger Single 6 and the Taurus Tracker. That was the original style of gun I wanted to use. But there's several problems. One is they're very heavy, and they're very nose heavy to boot. The other problem is the shape of the grip. They're very hard to modify something to hold on to them, and also to make something that'll activate the trigger. Now the typical semi-automatic, this is a Ruger Mark III. Problem with this one is the cocking grip. There's really nothing there to modify that I can pull the cocking grip to cock it. Now this is the actual pistol I wound up with, an sp22, and this is the Model 1, and mine has the Picatinny rails already on it, which is good for mounting optics and such. This is the grip that's formed around the hand grip of the gun. The two little wing nuts down there are there you can take those loose and totally take the handgun out. This is made out of thermoplast, and here it is with the handgun in it. Grips it very secure and works out very well. And again, the wing nuts, you can take them out and the whole handgun comes out. This is the actual wrist brace. This goes on your wrist, and the other part will mount to it, you'll see here. And this right there, they're both mounted together, the grip handle as well as the wrist brace. Makes it very secure on the wrist so you can hold it. Weight becomes a problem after a while. And here's the whole system put together. And here you'll see the cocking string on my cocking lever, and also a string trigger there. And that didn't work out quite well, as you'll see later on. But all in all, it works pretty good. It's a little hard to get on, but you don't want to get in too big of a hurry, because you ain't going to hurry. Once it's on, it's pretty stable though. I'll give it that. It stays on there pretty good. This thing started out 22 ounces, but it's gotten heavier as we keep adding things to it. Pretty simple to caulk. Comes off a lot easier than it goes on. That's for sure. Okay, this is out of the range with the string trigger, and you'll see it don't work so good sometimes. Jerks the handgun to the left.
Whoa! I hit the can. Check it. Look down there. Don't look up here.
I'll look downrange.
There's a tin can right under that yellow arrow. It'll disappear here in a second.
I'll go to hell.
I'm quitting.
You're
now.
buying pizza then.
This is the actual trigger mechanism I come up with as a remote trigger mechanism. It's made out of aluminum. It mounts to the lower Picatinny rail with that lower scope mount right there. And this is it mounted to the front. Added a little weight, but it works quite well. It's cable activated, and there it is on the handgun. The neat little platform down there also works well to rest that thing on, because if you hold it up for too long you get to shaking, or I do anyway. And again, that all comes off of there very, very easily. So if somebody wanted to use the handgun, this is a shifting lever from a 10-speed bicycle, and that's what I use to actually pull the trigger with. It's mounted to the shooting table, as you can see there. That's the whole system, and the shooting table of course goes across my lap. Here's kind of a demonstration on how it works. It kind of works pretty good, actually. I should be resting that little platform under the trigger down instead of using my wrist.
Of your gun itself?
Right, the trigger mechanism.
Okay.
But I can edit it all out.
We're going.
That would have been a better demonstration if I hadn't run out of ammo there.
Okay.
So there you go. There's more info on my website listed here on it, and updates will be there as well. Anyway, there's the pistol, and I'll keep working at it. Maybe improve it there, maybe not, don't know.